is 7 p.m. in the Tribal Center Conference Room. Mrs. Caple, roll call please. Mrs. Sealy? Here. Mrs. Foley? Here. Mrs. Grega? Here. Mr. Leidig? Here. Mrs. Preston? Here. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any committee reports? Okay, administrative update, Mr. Porcello?
All right, thank you. Well, it's been a crazy busy month all throughout campus. A lot of accomplishments by our students, a lot of students and teachers giving back to make our community a better place. So just want to highlight some of the things going on. Within our music department, last week was a big concert week. Special thanks to Mr. Ruska, Mr. Miller, Mrs. Singer for their time and dedication that they put in and creating an opportunity for our students to perform and spread some holiday cheer in front of a large audience. So special thanks to them. Also to Mrs. McMurtry. If you had an opportunity to attend the Veterans Conference or concert at any point in the past, you know that that's a very special event. You always have the slideshow at the very end, which highlights all the connections that our kids have with different veterans. Just a special experience for everyone there. Also, congrats to Perry Band students Haley Costner, Kevin Ragnar, Luke Steverding, and Augustin Agee for performing with the Cleveland Youth Wind Symphony. This is something that they practice with on a pretty regular basis, and we're able to perform at the Severance Music Center on November 19th. That typically takes an audition back in the spring to be able to be part of that group. So special shout out to these students for their accomplishments in that area. Throughout our campus, we saw a lot of giving back over the past month. Mrs. Rackavan and Miss Leiden's classes collected donations and gifts for senior residents at Divine Living in Madison. Students were able to visit, sing carols, spread holiday cheer, and spend time with some of our senior citizens that live there. Special thanks to Mrs. Rackavan and Miss Leiden for making this possible. Also, we're excited to share that through a cooperative partnership with Fairport Schools in the ESC Family Liaison Program, a dozen Perry students received brand new eyeglasses, many for the first time. Students were provided multiple free eye examinations during the school day and now have glasses in hand, removing a barrier to learning for those students. Shout out to Ellison Lombardo, who raised over $3,500 in support of the PSL Power Pack program. She's a senior student at Perry Schools. Also, to date, our PSL food drive stands at a total collection of 4,753 pounds of food collected, and the PSL Red Kettle Cash Drive has raised just under $5,000 to date. So once again, PSL students doing great things under the direction of Mr. Soder and Mrs. Trentinelli. So thank you to those two staff members as well. Athletically, senior wrestler Chance Schlau earned his 100th career victory at the North Coast Classic in Independence and finished second in the tournament. Brody Hicks set a new school record in the 100 breaststroke, and McCoy Richards received the Chuck Helby Scholar Athlete Award from the Lake County Touchdown Club. And then as far as staff member Mindy Allen was recognized by the Lake County Touchdown Club as the 2025 Distinguished Citizens Award for her many years of service related to the sport of football. And then finally, some business news here. We did meet, there was a meeting called by the County Commissioner Morris Beveridge III, along with the ESC of the Western Reserve, to continue to collaborate with local superintendents and treasurers on shared services in the areas of transportation, special education, and other related supports. There's also always talk about a joint financing district. We're part of one from a property tax standpoint, but also looking at all the options available in that area. The goal ahead over the next year is to do a lot of lobbying with legislators to make sure that schools have as many options on the book to seek additional financing options. As you are well aware, property tax continue to remain a great discussion. There's different bills sitting on the governor's desk to try to modify different ways and options that schools have related to school financing. As far as our district is concerned, I would say we've been the model over the past 20 years of shared services, thanks to the different leaders that have been here, along with supportive boards that have pushed leaders down that direction. It will continue to be the leaders in that area look at those options whenever we have opportunities in the coming months and years. So that concludes my administrative update.
Thank you, Mr. Porcello. Is there any public participation? No? Thank you. Board President's Report, item A, approval of contract modification for Solo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm missing the page. Oh, item B, approve.
No, it's right at the top.
Okay. I move we amend the employment contract of Todd Porcello, superintendent, as delineated in the attached provided for the contract effective August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2028. Is there a second?
So moved.
Second?
Yeah.
Any discussion? These contract amendments are in response to new legislation with the state that effectively reduced their compensation pretty significantly with administrator pickups. So this is just an effort to fulfill our obligation and what we had promised to them. I don't think it's anything that at this point is even really requiring a change. It's not an additional expense. It actually is just a change in the way that the compensation happens and the wording. So just in case anyone's wondering. Any other discussion? Okay, Ms. Capo, roll call, please.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mrs. Preston?
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy?
Yes.
Item B, personnel, approval of contract modification, CAPO. I move we amend the employment contract of Jennifer Capo, Chief Financial Officer, as delineated in the attached provided for the contract effective August 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2031. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call. Same, it's the same thing. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mrs. Preston?
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy?
Yes.
Did we do an approval of the board president's report, or is that we have approved both items?
I think that.
We're good. Okay. Consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So we,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Leidig?
Yes.
Mrs. Preston?
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
yes.
Okay. Mr. Porcello?
All right, thank you. Item A, acceptance of retirement corrective action. The board is asked to approve the corrective action noted, previously approved September 16th, 2025, as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. Item B, personnel, approval of leave of absence. In accordance with the terms and conditions of the exempt employee benefits agreement, Ohio Revised Code, and their applicable leave balance, the board is asked to approve the leave for the individual listed below, as recommended by the local superintendent. Item C, personnel, approval of contract modification, Mujanis. The board is asked to amend the employment contract of Ariana Mujanis, Director of Innovation and Learning, as delineated in the attachment provided for the contract effective August 1, 2025 through July 31, 2028, as recommended by the local superintendent. Once again, that's because of the same action being taken by legislators to be able to maintain the contract that we have and the dollar amounts in there. Item D, personnel, approval of appointment, non-athletic supplemental. The board is asked to approve the appointment of the individual listed for the 25-26 non-athletic supplemental position and rate of pay indicated, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, verification of proper licensure, training, and background check, as recommended by the local superintendent, and it should say and building principal. And please note that that is for the middle school musical director. Item E, personnel, approval of athletic supplementals, coaches, and volunteers. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the 25-26 athletic supplemental position and rate of pay indicated, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, verification of proper licensure, training, and background check, as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. F, personnel, approval of change in hours. The board is asked to approve the change in hours noted, as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. G, personnel, approval of contract extension. The board is asked to extend the contract for the employee listed as recommended by the local superintendent. H, personnel, approval of supplemental resignation. The board is asked to approve the resignation noted as recommended by the director of innovation and learning and local superintendent. I, personnel, approval of appointment substitutes. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for the 25-26 daily substitute position listed as recommended by the local superintendent, director of innovation and learning, and food service director. J, approval of out-of-state travel baseball. The board is asked to approve out-of-state travel to Savannah, Georgia for the PHS baseball team to attend practices and games from March 29th through April 4th, 2026. This is during our spring break, as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. Total cost of the trip will be $6,000, and each athlete is responsible for paying $300. The rest will be covered by fundraising and booster activity funds. No school or athletic department funds will be used for this trip. Item K, approval of out-of-state track and field travel. The board is asked to approve out-of-state travel to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, with the PHS track and field team to compete at the Beach Run Invitational from March 28th through April 4th, 2026. Once again during spring break, as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. The total cost of the trip will be $5,000, and each athlete is responsible for paying $250. The rest will be covered by booster activity funds and parent guardians. No school athletic department funds will be used for this trip. I will note that for these two trips, we now have a template that Mr. Rock will be using with our coaches to try to provide pretty regular information that the board often wants to see before approving these trips. I will note that the baseball team is following a model that the track team has followed for many years, where parents and guardians are responsible for the travel and then for the hotel arrangements, and our coaches have a delineated time of a start day and an end day of when they would be with the student athletes during that time. And we're just trying to keep things streamlined and also make sure that our students are having a good experience on that trip. Item L, approval of policy, second reading. The board is asked to consider the following board policies as a second reading for approval, not future action. As recommended by the local superintendent, draft policy is available for review below. And I will note that in policy 4162.01, I'm making the recommendation that we change the testing levels from 10 nanograms to 50 nanograms. This is a policy that is a new policy based on updated revised code, and it has to deal with drug testing of van drivers who are non-CDL holders. And this change in levels comes after further consultation with legal counsel, and it complies with Ohio Revised Code 4511.19. So with it being new, there was just further discussion that needed to take place with legal counsel. Item F, approval of the district calendars 26, 27, and 27, 28. The board is asked to approve the 26, 27, and 27, 28 district calendars as recommended by the local superintendent. And this concludes my superintendent's report.
Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion?
So when they're on the trip, what's the transportation to and from?
It's district arranged transportation typically through vans that are rented in that area.
Okay, and then who will be driving those vans?
Coach
Coaches,
Flat
staff?
and Coach Haas, yeah.
That's for the baseball one. Track
That's for
is
the
still
baseball.
parents, correct?
Yeah, I believe that's still parents.
And on the baseball one, when we talked about the chaperone, that is actually going to be more than just Coach Blatt. And
There's two coaches. Typically, I know in this proposal you said 20. I think the more realistic number is probably 13 to 15. So there's two chaperones on that trip.
Point out, make sure we did correct the half day of school off, so that's been corrected in the calendar to reflect the next 2 years, right?
There's no half days on the
Correct.
And
Yeah,
then,
it's 179 school days starting next year.
and then the change in the policy that aligns with the federal guidelines, is that correct?
Yeah, there's different, in Ohio Revised, so this is driven off of Ohio Revised Code. And the attorney looked at it, the different levels of concentration and different pieces, and is comfortable at that 50 nanogram level.
Perfect.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Truxton,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gregor.
yes,
Mrs. Capo?
Thank you. A, approval of financial reports. The board is asked to approve the financial reports from November 2025 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. B, acceptance of funds, Healthy Kids Fall Step It Up Challenge Award. The board is asked to accept the Healthy Kids Fall Step It Up Challenge amount shown below for deposit into the accounts listed as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. C, acceptance of grant funds, user family. The board is asked to accept a grant for the Brewster Family Foundation in the amount of $500 and to approve the appropriations for such grant to be placed in Fund 019, Special Cost Center 926E, as recommended by the building principal and chief financial officer. This grant was awarded to Perry Service Learning for their Power Pack program. D, approval of expenditure CBW government. The board is asked to authorize an expenditure of $17,176 for esports computers and $12,140.10 for desktop computers to CBW government procured through state contract bid pricing using 21st century grant funds for the high school computer lab as recommended by the chief financial officer and building principal. E, approval of expenditure Ohio paving. The board is asked to approve an expenditure in the amount of $146,964.73 to Ohio paving for district crack fill and seal coating under Sourcewell contract number OH-R2-PAC-071124 as recommended by the chief financial officer and the director of maintenance and operations. F, approval of expenditure Ohio paving. The board is asked to approve the expenditure in the amount of $80,521.12 to Ohio paving for district catch basin and concrete repairs under the Sourcewell contract number OH-R2-C-071124 as recommended by the chief financial officer and the director of maintenance and operations. G, approval of expenditure Garbo Third Company. The board is asked to approve the expenditure in the amount of $51,464 to Garbo Third Company for painting as recommended by the chief financial officer and the director of maintenance and operations. And this concludes my submittal.
Thank you, Mrs. Cabral. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any discussion? The paving seal coating, we do that every other year.
Yeah, but usually as needed. It's on his 10-year plan,
Okay,
so
so that's a pretty typical.
it is. This is a little higher, but I think since we haven't had it in the last couple of years, he just moved.
Yeah, it feels like it's
Higher
been longer than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dresser?
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Laydick?
Yes.
Is there any unfinished business? Under new business, we need to set the date for our organizational meeting for 2026. I think January 6th was the date that is the Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month. Does that work for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And then at that meeting, we'll set the date for all future meetings for the year, correct? We don't do that now, we did that at the organizational meeting.
Yeah. Did you want to set one for a regular meeting that same day?
Yes. So do I need to make a motion to set the organizational meeting? I'll make a motion to make the organizational meeting set for January 6th, 2026, followed by a regular board meeting,
Okay, second.
and then roll call, please.
Mrs. Dresser?
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Laydick?
Yes.
Okay, was there anything else that we had under new business?
Madam President, is that going to be at 5:45?
Yes, 5:45, please. That works with everyone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then correspondence and announcements. There will be no classes December 22nd, 2025 through January 2nd, 2026 for winter break. The district will be closed December 24th, 25th, and 31st, and January 1st. There will be no class held on January 19th, 2026 for Martin Luther King Day. Is there any other public participation? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Seoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mrs. Grega?
Yes.
Mr. Laydick?
Yes.
Mrs. Dresser?
Yes.
Yes.